Hey basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about your knee stability. So why do we need to worry about knee stability in basketball? Well, number one of the most prevalent injuries in basketball, that's actually more so for girls than it is for guys, but I've had this injury as well, and that is the ACL tear. I actually tore my ACL, my MCL, and my meniscus many years ago, and I'm still recovering from that. It's like 8 or 9 years later. It's crazy. But some notable players is Derrick Rose, and he never really got back to the same level he was playing at until like last year. So it's pretty crazy. So some of the ways that you can keep your muscles around your knee strong, which will also help strengthen the ligaments around your knee as well, are these exercises, and these are extremely important. So number one, this first exercise will actually take away some knee pain as well, what I've heard from different doctors, trainers, and friends, and that is running backwards. Quite literally, running backwards for a very good distance. If you've got a little bit of a hill, I do at the end of the street. If you run backwards up a hill, you're really working those front muscles of your legs, and you're really putting it into basically hyperdrive on how strong those muscles can get. And because of that, that's going to really strengthen your knee. Now, another exercise that you can do is something that you probably already do, and that's squats. When you're doing a squat, you want to go down, try to keep your knees behind your toes, and squat down to 90 degrees and back up, keeping your shoulders in line with your knees, in line with your toes, or if you really want to reduce injuries, keep your head in line with your knees and your toes. Some players cannot do that. Now, going from there, really working on those muscles again is wall sits. Wall sits are again very important. I know in one of the last few videos I mentioned it, and the reason is when you're doing squats, when you're running, things like that, you're really only working the outside muscle. You're not working the middle or the inside. And with this exercise, you can do that. So what we're going to do for the wall sit, and I learned this from the sports doctor that I'm seeing right now, and that is keeping your legs at 90 degrees. I already knew that part. We used to do this when I was a player, and I do this with my players when I coach and train. But now we're going to start and go with the basketball between our knees, and that's really going to be working those muscle groups that I just mentioned earlier, more on the middle and inside of your legs. And you really want to do that for 3 sets of 20 seconds, 15 seconds. My sports injury doctor did mention that a lot of people have issues going past 10 seconds until you start building it up. So keep that in mind. Try to push yourself as far as you can, and then take a little bit of a rest. Now, another one that I always mention to every single player that I train is bike riding. Whether you have a real bike where you just go out, start biking up hills, or just on a flat ground, whatever it may be, that's a great workout for your legs. It's going to really help your knee stability. However, stationary bikes are also really great, and I use that almost every single day for 30 to 60 minutes. I actually have it set up where I've got a table over top. It's one of those sit-down bikes, and I can sit down and edit videos. So if you can get a bike like that, you got homework to do, or you just want to watch YouTube videos, that's a fantastic way. Get a simple table, sit-down bike, and you're all set. Now, this last exercise is probably one of my favorites. I used to really like doing this when I was a player. It's very hard for me to do it now because I haven't done it for a very long time. However, it's called a one-leg squat. And what you're basically doing is, just like the name implies, you're up on one leg, have your other leg out front, and you're going to try and squat down. Now, I can really only get that low, and if you can only get that low at first too, that's totally fine. But keep on building that leg strength up so you can get lower and lower each time. Now, if you've got an elastic band or a 5-pound weight, you can do this next exercise. And that is, if you've got an elastic band, you can have it tied up to a pole, or you can have a partner, a sibling, a parent, whoever, to hold the elastic band back. And what you're doing is basically lifting up your toes, pulling against the resistance, and that's going to be working that front, basically your shin muscle. And you can do the same with a simple 5-pound weight. Basically stick your toe, sit down, stick your toe underneath the weight. Now this is a much heavier weight than I mentioned, however, this is just here because I was going to use it for another video, but basically what I'm talking about is you've got a 5-pound weight, which this isn't, and all you're doing is lifting up, really working that shin muscle, and it's going to be really helping you not just with stabilizing that knee, but also it's going to help you if you ever suffer from shin splints. That's when your shins feel like they're ripping apart because you've been running on really hard ground. That's going to strengthen that muscle, so hopefully those shin splints don't happen to you. Now, if that's something that you suffer from, definitely do this exercise. Definitely do not do it every single day. I would say do it maybe every 3 days or every 2 days, and start lightly. Don't go all out and gun for it and say, I'm going to do, it's a light 5-pound weight, I'm going to do it like 50 times for 3 sets. Start small and work your way up. If you're getting shin splints, that's something that will strengthen it over time. It's not going to be a magic cure. Anyways, I hope that this video has helped you become a lot better of a basketball player. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in my next video.